Hello Shizurali, welcome to the interview. Could you tell me about yourself?
Hello. First of all, I would like to thank Engg980 for considering me for this position. And coming to your question, I am 24 years old. I am currently pursuing Masters of Engineering from University of Wollongong in Australia. And I have completed my bachelor's and my schooling back in India. I have done my bachelor's from Fokamja College of Engineering and Technology, which is affiliated to Osmania University, one of the most reputed universities in Asia. And the probable reasons for me choosing civil was because of my interest in creativity and my constructive nature. So I thought of bringing my interest and my skills together, which I could see in the civil field, so I made it as a profession. And talking about my experience background, I don't have much of an experience as I had a continuous educational track, but I have done a few internships in Imarat and Arkan Consulting Services in India. And talking a bit about my interests and hobbies, I love playing cricket and soccer. Back in India, I used to play for Arshad Ayub Cricket Club, which is one of the most reputed clubs in India.
That's good to hear because you have a balance for both the sports and the academics as well. So, can you describe a time where you had to work in a diverse team and what challenges did you face and how did you overcome them?
Well, that's a good one. I could still recall the time when I was doing my internship at Imarat Consulting Services in India, and I had a very terrible time there. My role in the job at Imarat was of a site engineer, where I had to perform the given task of execution on the site. I had to communicate with the laborers and the subcontractors and designate them their job. So the difficulty which I obtained during this period was of the communication, as most of the people in Hyderabad use Telugu as a medium. I didn't have much knowledge about this language, so it was very difficult for me to communicate with the laborers and the other colleagues at the site, and this often led to miscommunication and forced error in the construction project. And after a certain time, I felt it was necessary to develop some kind of efficient way of communicating so that we can have a good time there. So certainly I decided to take up online classes to learn this language. And apart from this, I have in times of emergencies, I was able to use the Google Translator, which I think is a very efficient tool for communicating, and this really helped me a lot to improve in the language. And I was well able to communicate well with the people, and we were successfully able to solve our projects very easily. And another problem which I obtained during this time was of the legal documentation of the construction site. So as I didn't have any kind of subjectual learning about the documentation or legality of the building, it was very difficult to obtain the given given documents for our construction site with ease, which was a very difficult task for me. And again, with the help of my colleague workers and experienced person, and by observing them and observing their side of approach towards the problem, I was well able to overcome this difficulty as well. And I have even learned a new skill from this. So I'm very pretty happy that I was able to cope up well in this diverse team. Yeah.
Seems because you're very stubborn at your challenges and you somehow come out of it. That's good. So,
Thanks.
can you please describe a time when you have used your technical competence to solve a problem which resulted in a positive or productive outcome?
Well, it was in my final year of my bachelor's in civil. We had a project on analysis and design of a multi-story building. So we were divided into a team of four, where we our job was to develop all the structural members and check for their design loads, whether they were able to whether they were safe to carry these loads, so that tomorrow when it will be occupied, it will be safe enough. The problem which we obtained during this time was of the moisture content of the soil, which was very high, and the solving this structure was very difficult because the whole weight of the structure depends on the soil bearing capacity, and this was a very technical challenging aspect for us, as we designed a number of footings for that, but eventually these would have failed because of the moisture content. So I always had this curious attitude and taking an alternate approach to things. So instead of using my Strand 7 software, I have used the Strat Pro, from where I was able to design my own material and my own properties for the and give my own properties for the soil and determine its own values. So by using this, I was well able to correct all the errors which I was getting in the structure, and that is how we were certainly able to calculate. And after the project was completed well in the time and we obtained good grades for it, and after completion of my graduation, our team had received the letter of appreciation from our department because of our fabulous work of considering all the aspects and using an alternative approach to deal with it. So that's one of my most challenging projects which I have done.
That seems very interesting, man. Okay, do you have any questions for us?
Yeah, I have got one. I am certainly well prepared before time of getting an opportunity or deciding something. So
Okay.
I would like to ask you whether I need any kind of skills or training which I would require for this kind of role.
Thank you.
Thanks.